What's going on, Shady people? Shady Penguin welcoming you back for another week of UCL prep with your New York Mankeys. We are prepping for week 12, I believe it is, going up against the Grand Canyon Greninjas, coached by Twit, that dude with the fro, as you guys know him by X-Tech in the rap battle. But we have taken some time. We have built a team, and I'm going to go over it right now for you guys. We are on quite the winning streak. With this being week 12, I believe that means we have 8 wins, 3 losses, I believe. Could be wrong. I don't know, man. I don't know how to keep track of weeks or numbers or all that stuff. All I know is that I like playing Pokemon. Like I said, the Grand Canyon Greninjas are coached by Twit, and this is their potential lineup. We're going to go over that right now. They can possibly bring Rotom Wash, Mega Altaria, Alakazam, Nidoking, Mandibuzz, Empoleon, Emboar, Escavalier, Cofagrigus, Ufflaunt, Hariyama, and Ursaring. So there are some really scary Pokemon in there. Some really bulky Pokemon involved in this team. Specifically, Rotom Wash, Mandibuzz, Cofagrigus, Empoleon. Those are all things that are super bulky. Escavalier is kind of a pain too, but we have an Infernape, so I'm not too worried about that. Even Hariyama is really bulky, but we have a Mega Pinsir, so I'm not too concerned about that. But like those are like, specifically Rotom Wash, I have nothing to hit that with super effective damage unless I bring my Shiftry, but then Shiftry doesn't like Mandibuzz, Shiftry doesn't like Mega Altaria, Shiftry doesn't like anyone. Shiftry is a loner, so really not looking too great on that Rotom Wash front, so I did have to bring something specific. Our potential lineup, though, and Mega Altaria, our potential lineup is Landorus T, Mew, Mega Pinsir, Milotic, Infernape, Blissey, Jolteon, Skuntank, Shiftry, Gramble, Girder, and Regirock. So this is going to be the first week in a while where I'm not bringing anything too crazy. I know that kind of stinks, but I'm really nervous about this match. I really am. I just don't like the possible bulk. Cotton Guard, Mega Altaria, possibly. Mandibuzz lives forever. Empoleon, especially defensive, like a beast. It can even, it has base idiot defense too. It's like, it's not super bulky. We do have a Jolteon for that, so it's fine. Same thing with the Mandibuzz, but they can still take a hit. Like, Empoleon can take a Choice Specs Thunderbolt. Is that not insane? Is that not insane? So, I'm actually, it's just crazy. It's just really crazy. So we have this here. We're gonna go over the team that I did build for this match right now. You guys can see we're gonna kick it off with Rufus, our Mew. Now, I was really torn on what I wanted to do with Rufus this week. I had like an offensive Rufus. I even had an Assault Vest Rufus, but I see the Cofagrigus and I see the Mandibuzz, and they both get access to knockoff, and I just really, and so does Hariyama. Hariyama's the big one that I was bringing this for alongside Mega Pinsir. So I had like an Assault Vest originally, and then I was like, you know what, no, forget it. I really need Defog. You can't not have Defog when you have a Mew. It's just tough for me not to bring it. So ended up falling back to Rufus with the Cobra Berry, max attack, max speed, jolly nature, as you guys can see, with Defog, Zen Headbutt, U-turn, knockoff. So I wanted to go physically offensive, mainly because I wanted to go Zen Headbutt for that Hariyama. Hariyama likes to run Assault Vest, and I wanted to make sure that I can catch it if it wants to try to knock me off. I have a Cobra Berry, and Zen Headbutt is a 2-hit KO, and if it's late game, I can one-shot it if it's at like 70%, I believe. So that was my biggest reason for going this Rufus. U-turn for initiative, knockoff because he's got a Cofagrigus, and knocking off any item, obviously besides the Altaria Knights, we can't knock that off, is great. Now, I originally had Gunk Shot on this thing for coverage for that Mega Altaria, because otherwise Altaria just sits on this, but I decided, you know what, I'll just have U-turn instead for switch initiative for various reasons, and then I can go ahead and just, you know, I can just do my thing. Bring in my check for the Altaria. Speaking of which, we're gonna go over Lonely the Infernape. Holding the Choice Scarf with Iron Fist, it's got U-turn, Close Combat, Fire Punch, and Gunk Shot. So Gunk Shot does a massive amount of damage to Altaria. Of course, if it sets up a Cotton Guard, we're kind of dunzo funzo, and then we have to rely on our Blissey, as you guys can see later on in the team prep. But this Infernape is adamant, 60 HP, 252 max attack with a adamant nature. It has just enough speed to outspeed a Choice Scarfed, I believe Choice Scarfed Rotom. I believe that was the one thing in the team I was nervous about. Yes, Choice Scarf Rotom, and I obviously outspeed Choice Scarf Nidoking as well, because Nidoking is 1 base speed slower than Rotom. But I didn't need to go Jolly, so I went Adamant. 153. I believe Rotom caps out at 150 or 151. Maybe it's 151. So we should outspeed every time if he's running Choice Scarf. Rotom Wash with Hydro Pump, so that's good to know. Of course, Rotom Wash can be extremely bulky, so we definitely have to take time during the match and try to figure out if he's running a Choice Scarf, he's running offensive, he's running defensive. Obviously, Rotom Wash is most often defensive, but I need the information. I need to see the leftovers or something. I need to figure out that he's not scarfed early on. Because Close Combat, if he's defensive, Close Combat only does like 40% to a physically defensive Rotom. So it's not sweet material. Like I have to wear down that Rotom in a different fashion. And Mayhem, honestly, is probably going to be the best one to do that with. aka actually Blissey, because Rotom has such a low base HP. You guys will see when we go over Blissey. That's the biggest reason why I'm bringing Blissey. But this is our Infernape. Should prove really, really useful. Once again, U-turn for Switch Initiative. Fire Punch is there just for Scavalier. I didn't think there wasn't anything else on his team that suffered from fire. I actually don't ever want to click the fire type move against anything. Like, there's nothing that I mean, and the Cofagrigus, I would be better off going for the fire punch in the close combat, obviously, but I would just U-turn out of there if a Cofagrigus was in there, because I'm not doing much to it anyway. That thing is a defensive monster. I just got to knock it off with Mew. So that's going to be our Infernape. Then, of course, we have Savage, very typical. Max attack, Jolly Nature, because I want to make sure that I outspeed. If I was Adamant, I believe I get outsped by, I think, does Rotom actually, hold on, does Rotom actually outspeed me? I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't look like Rotom outspeeds me. There was a reason I ran Jolly. I can't remember what it was. Was it for, does Mega Altaria gain any speed? I don't think Mega Altaria does gain any speed. Let's see. Because we might actually be able to go, Altaria does gain any speed. Oh, you know what I think it was? No, because I would still outspeed if he went for D-Dance, and no, yeah, he would, oh, I think that's what it was. Depending on his spread, and this is kind of obscure, I know, but you have to think about these things. If he goes for D-Dance and he's not max speed and he wants to throw on Bulk instead, I can still outspeed with this Mega Pinsir, because, for example, if he only has 60 speed invested into his Altaria, then he's going to go to like 162, I think, and we still outspeed because we're Jolly. But if we were Adamant, I don't believe we outspeed. We don't. So that was, I know it's super obscure, because if he's running Dragon Dance, he's probably going to be full speed, but not necessarily with how bulky Mega Altaria can be. So that was my big reason for running Jolly over Adamant. And I think I'm gonna stick with it for sure. I'm looking a little bit harder. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm definitely gonna stick with it. I mean, it looks like I could technically go with Adamant and get more offense out of the thing, but this thing is already offensive. Look, it's got Sword Dance. I'm running Quick Attack, Return, Earthquake. I was on the fence about between Return and Facade. I know last week Facade would have helped us, sort of, but it ended up not mattering anyway. So I think that we are just gonna keep Return for now, because if you know what, if your Mega Pinsir gets burned, you're behind the 8-ball anyway. Like you lose your Quick Attack, you lose your Earthquake. Now I'm running Earthquake. I am bringing Mold Breaker Pinsir. I want more than anything, and this might ruin the battle a little bit. I might make some silly plays, but I want more than anything to go for Mold Breaker Earthquake on Rotom. Granted, it only does a 55%, but if there's an opportunity for me to switch in my Pinsir and not Mega Evolve and just go for Mold Breaker Earthquake, I am doing it. I cannot wait to pull that off. It's gonna be so awesome. But that is our Savage Mega Pinsir. That's why we're running Earthquake, because we're gonna break molds and hit it up. Granted, he's got a lot of things that are immune. Altaria before it Mega Evolves, Mandibuzz. I believe there was one more. Oh, it's just Rotom Wash. Okay, but we're gonna Mold Breaker. So that's why I can't really fire up EQs, and that's why, you guys, I'm not bringing Landorus this week, because he's got a lot of EQ resistance immunities, and I don't want to. I don't want to do that. All right, so our next Pokemon is going to be Mayhem the Jolteon, holding Choice Specs with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, and Shadow Ball. So this has enough speed to outspeed the. I believe it even outspeeds this. It doesn't outspeed Choice Scarf, Rotom Wash. What did I base this off of? I'm really sorry, guys. Normally I do the team builder right after I build a team, but I built this team a couple days ago. But a lot of family stuff going on, and I'm a little bit distracted. But Jolteon 180. What did I need 190 for? Was it to outspeed? Let me see something. Alakazam. Regular Alakazam. You know what it was? It's the outspeed Timid Alakazam. Timid Alakazam maxes out at 189, which is crazy. That's crazy. So we ended up going 190 to make sure that we outspeed the thing. If he's Choice Scarfed, he got me good, but they're normally Focus Sash. So I just wanted to make sure that I outspeed that thing, because I can hit it like a truck. If its Focus Sash is already broken by a U-turn or something like that, well, if it gets U-turned, it's dropping to its Focus Sash probably. But that's the reason for the 190 speed. So we ended up going Timid, 180 speed, 72 in HP. Now, I'm kind of curious to see if I go Modest. Can I hit that 190? I can't, and that's why I had to go Timid. I remember now. Okay, so that's why I did what I did. There we go, 190. I knew there was a reason behind not like giving up the extra power of Modest. I needed to make sure I outspeed that Alakazam, because unless I get to paralyze it later on in the match, I just know that it's going to be really useful to be able to Volt Switch out and go out into like a Blissey to take a hit. So that put the remainder EVs. We have 72 in HP. a 252 max special attack, obviously, and he's holding the choice spec, so he's still gonna hit like a truck. We got Volt Switch for Switch Initiative, Thunderbolt because we gotta be able to hit the Empoleon and the Mandibuzz for crazy damage. Hidden Power Ice is there because he's a Nidoking. Now, Nidoking is Twit's only ground immunity. So if we can get rid of that, I think Jolteon can really put in a lot of work. And then it's going to get to a point maybe where Jolteon's expendable. Because if we get rid of Empoleon, Mandibuzz, then I don't need Jolteon anymore. That's really why I wanted Jolteon. Granted, it's still fast and hits like a truck. So maybe I shouldn't just throw it away. But we'll see what happens in the match. I got to do what I got to do to win. I don't care about differential. I just want to win. Because we've been doing so well. And you guys have been supporting the Mankeys so much with all the memorabilia and all the comments and views and likes. It's just been crazy. I don't want to let you guys down. I don't want to let our team down. But that's a little side tangent. Shadow Ball is there if I feel like I don't think I really need to use Shadow Ball on the Alakazam, but barring the Bouffalant and the Ursaring, Shadow Ball hits everything pretty hard. He's got a Call for Grigus. Mandibuzz is the only thing that it doesn't really hit hard. So it's something to keep an eye out for. But Call for Grigus will not appreciate a Shadow Ball at all. Call for Grigus has 105 special defense, so it's still pretty fat. Only has 58 HP, so it's not really too big of a deal. But I wouldn't mind being able to hit it with a super effective Shadow Ball. I'm really scared of Coffin being on the opposite side of the field. I love Coffin, and it's going to be against us. I love a lot of Twit's Pokemon. Nidoking's one of my favorite mons. And something I'll talk about Nidoking in a second once we get to Blissey. We're gonna go to Blissey now. So Blissey, America the Blissey, who I don't know why you're not nicknamed. America the Blissey is holding the leftovers at his natural cure. Blissey's gonna be a huge part of this match. Now, I don't use Blissey often. I mainly drafted it because I never wanted to face it. And but it's a really good Pokemon. And it's gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be pivotal in this match. Seismic Toss, Thunder Wave, Soft Boil, and Stealth Rock. So I wanted Mew to be able to have those moves, so I gave Stealth Rock to Blissey, which is fine by me. So I'm most likely going to lead with Blissey. That's my initial plan, is to lead with Blissey, get my rocks up. Because, I mean, if he leads with Empoleon and we trade rocks, so be it. Empoleon and Mandibuzz, I believe, is only defoggers. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive. Maybe Altaria gets it, but I don't think so. I don't think it is. I don't think it does. But Blissey here is going to take care of the fat walls, like Rotom Wash. Seismic Toss can be great. Now, he can be running Pain Split, so I have to be careful of that. I'm going to probably use my Jolteon. I think Jolteon has the lowest amount of HP on my team. I was looking at it before. Besides Pinsir. Pinsir has lower, actually, but I don't want to bring Pinsir in on a Rotom Wash, so that'll literally never happen. But I wouldn't mind bringing in a Jolteon, potentially taking advantage of Volt Absorb, and then if he Pain Splits, it's not that big of a deal because we can just Volt Switch right out and bait something else, and like he's going to go for the Hydro Pump, so we can go back out into Blissey. So our Blissey here is going to really take care of Rotom Wash. It can also go toe-to-toe with Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz can't really do anything to it. It's true that I can get toxic by one of these things, or burned by the Rotom Wash, but I have Natural Cure, so this thing is also going to aid us in eating up status ailments, which is going to be really, really, really nice. Thunder Wave is there to slow things down. So like I said, if I can slow down that Alakazam and paralyze it, if I can paralyze that Altaria, that's this Pokemon's biggest job, because the scary thing about Altaria is you don't know if it's going to be physical or special. If he's D-Dance, or you don't know if he's going to be Cotton Guard, no idea. But even if he's Cotton Guard, I'd really rather just Thunder Wave him and then go for Seismic Tosses, because if he ends up being physical and he's paralyzed, well, not that we'll have to rely on para hacks, but 2 Seismic Tosses is going to really do a lot, and then I can always let Blissey go down and go on into Milotic. Blissey and Milotic are really here to handle a lot of Twit's Pokemon. And this thing, obviously, max defense so that it can have something going on. 68 defense is still nothing, obviously, but it's got 361 HP, so that's huge. We gave 4 in speed and 4 in special defense. I almost just said, you know, we're not even using the 4 speed, but I think there's one Pokemon that I speed tie with. Bouffalant, Ursaring, and Hariyama. I want to make sure that I outspeed, I guess. But if he doesn't run any speed investment in any of those, although Ursaring's scary, because if he does bring it, which I don't think he will, but I was looking at it, has Guts and Quick Feet. So 2 really crazy abilities. And considering I have Thunder Wave, if he comes in on a Thunder Wave and he gets like a free Guts off of that, oh my gosh, that'd be nuts. And the Bouffalant's another scary Pokemon. Twit's NU drafts are arguably some of the best. Hariyama's just such a good pickup. I wanted Hariyama so bad, but I definitely choked and got Girder, which we haven't seen, of course. So this Blissey is really, really nice. Like I said, eating up statuses. It has reliable recovery, going to be dishing out statuses, setting up our rocks, and then Seismic Tossing away. Twit's Pokemon is not, they don't have super high HP besides the Mandibuzz and Emboar. They tap out at 110. They're his highest ones. I don't expect him to bring Emboar. I'll go over what Pokemon I think he's going to bring in just a little bit, but Blissey is going to be, America's going to be so pivotal. She's going to be so important to this match, and I really hope she shines. Our final Pokemon is Sakura, who's not nicknamed as well because the ladies are slacking. Sakura with Leftovers, Marvel Scale, Recover, Scald, Ice Beam, and Toxic. So I decided to go Toxic on this instead of anything else. I didn't want to go Dragon Tail when he has a Mega Altaria and he can potentially just predict and shut me down, and I don't like it. And then if he ends up being special, you guys can see my EV spread is a little different this week. Max HP, I think it's the same as last week actually. Max defense, but a calm nature. That week, I don't know what the Altaria is going to be, and I want this thing to be able to take hits from a physical or special Nidoking. Now, I want to talk about this Nidoking really quick because I have the Blissey and Milotic. I really feel like he's gonna go physical Nidoking. Physical Nidoking is a sleeper in my opinion. 102 attack, and it can get moves like Poison Jab. It has Sucker Punch priority. Earthquake, although you don't get the sheer force boost, you still get the life orb boost and you take the recoil, but it's so worth in my mind, it's so worth. Nidoking is like my biggest fear, but I don't want to assume. I'll still go into the battle, like trying to figure out if he's special, if he's physical. Hopefully we can find out early on, that would be nice. If we can find out early on. But who knows what's going to happen. That thing is going to be such a threat. But I think I could take one no matter what on either side. Sakura's not really a switch in for Nidoking right now, but maybe if I want to try to bait a different move, I don't know, but I can take one. Blissey to me is more important than Sakura because I know that nothing on my team can take out that Rotom Wash. It really can't. Nothing really can. Unless I Mold Breaker or EQ, and that's only 50%, and then follow up with a close combat, which hopefully will pick up the knockout, depending on what set he's running. So I'm really nervous about this game. I'm gonna try to play as safe as possible, but I don't care if I have to sacrifice Pokemon to make make me win. I don't care if it's a 1-0. I really don't, because this is one of those games that I'm really nervous about, especially when you have power like Mega Altaria and Alakazam. Alakazam. Now, of course, this thing can kind of take on Alakazam, which I really like if he goes Psyshock or Psychic. I have good defenses on both sides. I can Scald, which will probably be a 2-hit KO on Alakazam, and if not, I can recover and do what I gotta do. It should be fine. It should totally be fine. These two girls are gonna be awesome. So the Pokemon that I think Twit is going to bring, I definitely think he's bringing all of his OU picks. Rotom Wash, Mega Altaria, Alakazam. I think it'd be crazy not to. I'm really expecting Nidoking, and I'm expecting Mandibuzz and Polion? I don't know. Like, Twit has so many, like, Cofagrigus is a great Pokemon. I wouldn't be surprised if he brought Cofagrigus because I have a Blissey, and if I don't have, Cofagrigus will wall Blissey for days. 100%, I can't do anything against that Cofagrigus if he brings it. So, we'll have to play around that, which is why I brought the knockoff Mew. I can kind of let Milotic handle Cofagrigus a little bit, but I'd have to get a burn and get some residual onto it. Or actually Toxic him. I'll Toxic Cofagrigus if he brings it, so that'd be really nice. I don't think he's bringing a Scavalier, but I'm bringing Fire Punch just in case. I don't think he's bringing Emboar. Hariyama is definitely a possibility, but I think Mega Pinsir might scare it away. But I wouldn't be surprised if it brings the Hariyama because that thing is just really, it hurts Mew, honestly. Even though Mew outspeeds and can get like a Zen Headbutt, or you can't one-shot, and the knockoff's gonna hurt, but I got the Cobra Berry just in case. I don't see him bringing Boufflon or Ursaring. I can kind of see one of them, but I just think that I think that he has such bulk. I guess he can't bring too much bulk. Like he's gonna have to choose his bulk. So I guess if he brings Rotom, maybe he won't bring Empoleon. But Empoleon is his Stealth Rock setup and a Defogger in one Pokemon, so it's too tempting to not bring. And I know he's gonna bring a Penguin against me. So you know what? He's bringing Empoleon. I'm calling it. So maybe he's not bringing Rotom. No, he's got to bring Rotom Wash. So maybe he's not bringing Mandibuzz. I guess I could see him not bringing Mandibuzz because I have the Mayhem, I have Jolteon, so he wouldn't want to bring Empoleon and Mandibuzz. So one of those two he's not going to bring. Maybe he will leave the Penguin behind. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Like I said, I'm really scared of this matchup. I have no idea how it's going to go. It could just be, it could be a blowout. He could like just stall me out, or not stall me out, but out bulk me. And then he has Altaria, which hits like a truck. Alakazam, which hits really hard, is super fast, a great revenge killer. And Nidoking, which is going to be, if he's physical Nidoking, I'm gonna have a little bit of an issue for sure. I know Pokemon are going to drop to that Nidoking, out of doubt. Something's going to drop to that Nidoking. I can't let it be America or Sakura. There's no way. But that's going to be our team. Hopefully we can squeeze out a win tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed this and you're excited to see what the New York Mankeys are going to bring to the field tomorrow, please show some shady love to one of those thumbs. Whether you enjoy this or not, I really appreciate your interaction. Support is everything on this channel. I'm going to get the heck out of here, though. Have yourselves a good day. But above all else, keep it shady.